Today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the leaders in below the waistline grooming. As you've heard us say on numerous occasions, when I was talking with Deke earlier about that Lawnmower 4.0, it can clean you up real nice. It keeps the hedges trimmed low, keeps the grass nice and neat, you know, like we talked about. When people want to view your yard, you want your lawn to look good, okay? You don't want no weeds, you don't want no bushes. Lawnmower 4.0, make sure you turn that light on too. Low and slow is the way to go. But more importantly, man, definitely check them out. And as we always tell you, we don't talk about people unless we get promo codes. And we happen to have a promo code, and that promo code is MOATS. You use that promo code, you get you 20% off along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com. So stop wasting time. Make sure you hit them. Use the promo code. Your delicate twins will definitely thank you.
Do the Browns force Baker out? Does he come to Pitt? Man, why are people bringing this up?
Well, because people feel like they would rather have Baker than Mason. That's the
I wouldn't even go that far.
So you would rather have Mason than Baker?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would much rather have Baker. Baker has shown he could start in this league and win games in this league. I don't know what y'all.
Well, I'd rather go Haskins than Baker.
No. I still would rather go Baker over Haskins right now also, because Baker has proved that he can win in this league. He's proven that. He's made throws. I just think that you have to understand that Baker isn't elite top 5 quarterback. And if you try to call plays and scheme for that, you're going to fall flat on your face. But if you have the right pieces around him, I think that he can definitely get the job done, honestly. But you got to have the pieces around. You watch Cleveland. When Cleveland plays the right way, he gets the job done. You make that face, they won games in the playoffs last year. You make that face, they still were on the heels of going into the playoffs this year. Think about it, bro. But I get it. It's more, yeah. It's cool.
No, I just think you're capped. You're just really capped as a franchise then.
Bro, you're saying that you would take Mason right now over Baker Mayfield. Just think about what you're saying.
I think at least.
No, you just said you would take Mason Rudolph over Baker Mayfield today.
Here's what I will say.
Crazy to me.
No. Who's the better quarterback right now?
You just said you would take Mason.
Baker has proven more. No. Mason at least shows a little bit sliver of upside. That I think Baker's done. Baker's capped out.
How you figure that? Where did you get this upside? There's more upside than Baker?
Just a little sliver.
Bro.
Could we see a little bit more from him? That's all.
God, you are on your own with that one.
Just a little I already know what Baker is. I think we already
No, bro.
The whole verdict is out. Mason,
you think Mason has more upside than Baker Mayfield?
Sliver.
Like, I thought your Ben takes were crazy. Oh man, this might take the cake, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were crazy about the Ben stuff, and I give you a hard time. But I'm like, you know what? At least we can lie to ourselves a little bit. I cannot lie to myself right now and say that Mason Rudolph has more upside than Baker Mayfield. I can't do that.
I don't think Baker has any upside.
What? But Baker's already ahead of where Mason's at. I don't think Mason can catch where Baker's at right now. I really don't. Because I've seen Baker win how many games? I've seen Baker win in the playoffs. I've seen Baker come to Hinesville and beat us. What we talking about,
Mason
man?
Rudolph on the Browns this year,
bro,
might have been better than Baker.
Stop it, bro.
I'm telling you that right now. You heard the Browns fan up in the stands.
So then why we worried about a new quarterback then?
Huh?
Why don't we just keep Mason there?
Oh, I don't want
if Mason can do that, why don't we just keep Mason there? Like, stop it, bro.
No, you're comparing Baker to Mason. Bro, I don't want Baker.
You are wildin'.
I don't want Baker.
You are wildin'.
I don't want Baker. And then if we're talking about Mason versus Haskins, I'd rather have Haskins over Mason. But if you're literally just telling me the options are Baker versus Mason next year, I'm going Mason.
And we'll beat the heck out your squad.
No,
we would beat the heck out your squad. Yes.
I think there's at least a sliver of upside with Mason.
We would beat the heck out you. You keep waiting on that upside. We're gonna beat the heck out your squad.
No way.
Yeah, because you can be over there calling plays, trying to see if Mason can be a franchise guy, and I'm calling calls the way it's supposed to be. Hand that ball off, hit your deep shots on the play action pass like you do, and I'm gonna have you better receivers around so they're not dropping those passes.
You could do that with Mason.
Not to this. I don't feel like it's the same. Nope. Because I've already seen Mason try to do that. Mason couldn't do that. Remember, his first year, he was trying to do the West Coast offense. That wasn't happening.
I think Mason wins as much, if not more, games with the Browns than Baker this year.
I think you're full of nonsense, bro.
No way.
Yes, bro. Like, there's a lot of stuff I go with you. I cannot go with you on this, bro. So essentially, you're telling me that Duck Hodges is better than Baker as well. No, because Duck proved that he was better than Mason. We saw that.
I disagree with that. The steam ran out with Duck. That was the problem. Because we saw the Jets game with Mason. We even saw the Browns game last year with Mason. He has more upside than Duck.
Fair enough.
He has the arm talent over Duck.
Fair enough.
You get what I'm saying? We talked about the Hundley stuff. Duck had a feel, but it started to peter out a little bit. That's why he's not in the league anymore.
Fair enough. The people want us to poll up.
Hold up.
Yeah, this is a
what
good
are people saying?
I hope I'm off. Maybe I want to be completely off my rock.
Can I unsub to Deke, but keep following Art? All right, people are with you. Deke, stop the madness. Mason garbage, Duck over Mason. It's Deke's mustache.
Do you want me to put Baker, Mason, and Duck in there, or just Mason versus Duck? I mean, Mason versus Baker.
Mason versus Baker's fine.
Okay.
No. Don't phrase. Hold on. No. Don't phrase it as in.
You tell me how you want me to phrase it.
Who's the better quarterback?
Because I just said, which QB would you take?
Which QB? No, next year for the Steelers. Next year for the Steelers, because that's
which QB would you take? I'll put it on next year.
Yeah.
All caps for the
Steelers. Mason versus Baker.
There we go.
Because I think that's different. Because I'm with you. Baker's been a better quarterback than Mason. But
you ain't just say that. No. Don't you try to pedal it back now. You did not just say.
Yeah, I did.
Mason's been a better quarterback. No, bro. No.
But he's capped. I know what Baker is. At least Mason has a sliver of upside. Because if that's where we're gonna be at next year, where we're actually talking about Baker Mayfield as our starting quarterback, I'd rather just not do it. Let's go with Mason. He's a sliver of upside. That's my whole point. That's my whole point.
I hope I'm off. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope you're right.
I think Mason is not that good.
Man.
I would rather have Haskins than Mason. But if we're talking Mason versus Baker,
you want Mason Rudolph
just for the slight upside purpose. But I would take Haskins over Baker.
What? No. But we just said Mason versus Baker.
What about Haskins versus Baker?
Mason versus Baker.
I already laid it all out though. Baker's the better quarterback right now. He's had the better career for sure. In terms of the Steelers QB next year, if we're actually thinking about bringing in Baker Mayfield, I don't even want to have that conversation. Just go with Haskins or Mason or Haskins, whatever. But Mason has a sliver of upside. Where is there a 1%, 2% chance the verdict is still out with him? That's all I want to see.
And Baker has no upside there. None at all.
The verdict's out on Baker.
None at all. And what you saw at the end of the year with him going to have surgery right now, none of that had an impact at all. None of it, right? Not a sliver of it. None of it. Like, bro, you're not man. Come on, bro. You gotta stop this, man.
Well, I already know what he is before the surgery too.
Oh man. Yeah, we saw him. He won a playoff game on the road. We saw that.
No,
you can't say nah. That is documented. In fact, I think you saw it with your eyes. You watched it.
No. Here's the thing, though. Even this season before the injury, we saw him in the Chiefs game. The mistakes at the end of the half, or not even the end of the half, the end of the game. You compare him to like a franchise QB. I just don't want him. Okay. I wouldn't want him. Like if you're talking Kirk Cousins, even too, I don't want Kirk Cousins. It's not a specific Baker thing. Maybe it is a little bit because he's a Browns guy. I don't want Kirk Cousins. I don't want Matt Ryan.
So you would just rather have Mason Rudolph as your quarterback instead of Kirk Cousins? Is what you're telling me?
I would. Yeah, next year. I would next year. Yeah, because we're not going anywhere with Kirk Cousins anyway.
I guarantee we go a lot farther with Kirk than we would with Mason. Kirk done led his team to the playoffs. He's done that before.
Dude, he hasn't
He's done that before. He's done that before. Mason has not. He's done that before.
Bro, he hasn't done better than 9-7 though in his career.
Bro, has Mason got that before?
Dude, but that's what I'm talking about with Mason. At least there's a sliver of upside still. That's all.
Upside. The upside is just what you haven't seen him go out here and play 17 games.
That's it.
Is that
right?
So it's not really upside. It's just optimism. It's just I don't know. That's not upside though. I don't know. And upside are different. Upside is I can point to he has a strong arm. He's accurate. He hits these throws and these throws and these throws. And I think with the larger sample size, he can grow into this. We can't say that about Mason right now. All we can say is we haven't seen him completely bomb. You know, he ain't look terrible, but he ain't look good either. He just ain't look terrible.
I've seen enough flashes though, to where there is that sliver of optimism.
You've seen more slivers of optimism from Mason in anything that he's done in his NFL career. Whereas with Baker, we can point to numerous times where Baker has shown. Baker has had 300-400 passing yard game. We don't have that from Mason. Think about that. We've had multi-touchdown performances by Baker. That Chargers game, they lost it. That was not on him. That Chargers game, he balled up. Mason has never as an NFL quarterback had a game like that.
Here's the thing about Baker: his weapons and offensive system have been way better than anything Mason has had.
Lord, why do you got so many excuses for Mason, bro?
Dude, I don't even like Mason.
So why are you standing on the table for him then?
Because you're asking me to compare him to Baker as our quarterback next year. That's
because
all.
Baker, if we're just putting both of these guys in a vacuum, Baker is a better quarterback.
What's the point? Here's my question. What's the point?
What do you mean? What's the point?
What's the point in
You're
Baker?
trying to compete to win, right? We could have said, what's the point of having Ben come back this year if we felt like, hey,
I don't
want to
pay. I don't want to pay Baker big money. I don't want any of that.
I get that part.
What's the point?
If you're thinking of the numbers part of it, that's a different conversation.
But that's part of it. That's why. That's why I just don't even. I don't even want him. I don't even want to bring him in.
But that's a different conversation. We're simply saying, hey, all things equal, which quarterback you want? You hollering Mason. Now you see why we looking at you crazy, like, bro, what?
No, but it's not all things equal. That's why I bring it up.
But it would be
because
all things equal.
Where Baker is at his career, he's looking at a contract now. So
but he doesn't have a contract right now. He does not have a contract right now. He does not. He's on a rookie deal right now still. He has not signed a new deal yet. So that's speculation in terms of what that number could be. But he doesn't have that just yet. So all things technically are equal right now.
But again, then we're trading for him too. I don't want him. I don't. I just don't think it makes sense at all. Because if we're talking about Baker, let's just go with Mason then. Because we'd have to trade for him. And then, as I'm saying, what's the point now? Because are we really actually looking for him for the future? Because I already know what he is. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
When you bring finances, yes, but none of us are talking about finances. This conversation hasn't been about finances.
But it is when you're talking about who do you want as the Steelers quarterback for next year. You have to include that. You have to, because you're thinking about future.
No, that is a pivot. The simple question was, which quarterback would you rather have? You pivoted to all these other variables now after the fact, but in a vacuum, you said Mason Rudolph, and you said not because of money. You said he has a sliver of more upside.
That's true too.
But you're preaching about money as your real reason. If it's money,
no, those
I'm 100%.
These are all the reasons. These are all the reasons because we're talking about who do you want as the Steelers quarterback, and I've already mentioned
for next year. I don't think either one of these guys are a long term answer. But if we're talking in a vacuum for next year, give me Baker. If it's just next year, 1 year, give me Baker. If we just that, because I don't want either one of those guys past next year personally. Unless they come out here and show something different. I don't want either one past that.
But that's what I'm saying. What's the point? Because we'd have to trade for Baker. We'd have to pay him more. I don't want that.
Bro, all we simply said was no different. We talk about, would you rather have Russell Wilson? Yes, we want Russell Wilson. Yes. We're not getting into the details that we just simply said, would you rather have him? What you're saying about Baker would be the equivalent of you saying, man, I'd rather have Haskins over Wilson. I think Haskins give us more upside. You're like, what? What? How? Now, if you say, I think Haskins because the money-wise, we don't have to trade for him, we have to give up that. Hey, 100%, yes. But not because he got more upside. And that was what your argument was at the beginning of this conversation,
I never said it was much. I said 1 or 2%.
Right, but the fact that you simply said that it's above him, I'm like, bro, how? I just don't get it.
Because the verdict's out on Baker for me. I've seen enough with him. He's not a franchise guy. Mason, people could say the verdict's out on him too. I'm basically there. I just think it's 1% or 2% higher than Baker, and we wouldn't have to make any trades. We wouldn't have to pay him as much money if we kept Mason here. That's all. You get what I mean?
The money part, yes. But you keep ending it with the money part. That's not how this conversation started. That's all I'm saying. You've pivoted over there because
that was part of my thought process, though. Because we're talking about the Steelers quarterback next year.
But remember, you said your thought process. You didn't verbally communicate. I can't read your mind, baby. You know what I mean? So it's like if you would have said, "Hey, it's the upside and the money." That's different.
We got here, though. I mean,
but we got here because I kept hearing you say upside. That's all. The poll is about that. You know what I mean? It's not about the money. It's not about, oh man, who's the long-term answer? Nah, that wasn't the conversation. We were just simply saying in a vacuum, which quarterback would you rather have? And your answer was Mason because he has a sliver of more upside. And that's where you left. And that's where you left it. You
did the Steelers quarterback next season.
And that's when you said period. That's where you left it at. You didn't bring up any of this other stuff until we started to break down that statement right there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm glad we got to it because, I mean, that's all part of being the Steelers quarterback next season.
No, I agree. All of that does go into it. But in a vacuum, we're just simply over here asking, hey, what about Aaron Rodgers? What about this guy? What about that guy?
I'm being straight up.
That's all I'm saying,
I'm being
man.
straight up, too, though. Like, I stand by what I said. I do think Mason has a sliver of upside over Baker. So, like, that's there, too. I mean, even if everything was equal, I don't really care. I just really wouldn't.
Well, that is the beauty of life.
Because I really do think if Mason was in Baker's situation, he's doing just as fine, if not better.
Yeah, we don't always have to agree.